Good day. Welcome to our presentation today on the winter solstice for 2020. This is the day and the time in which we celebrate the season on the shortest day of the year. I'll be your host, Dr. Michael Flores, here from the Louis Rubidoux Library in Jurupa Valley, California, on behalf of the Riverside County Library System. Our solstice for this year will take place on the 21st of December. Be ready. The first thing that we often hear is, what is the winter solstice? The winter solstice is an annual event when the sun's direct rays are at the least oblique to the surface of the earth, which means in some places they are direct, in other places they are indirect, and at the extremes of each. It causes the sunlight to shine for the shortest amount of time on this one day each year in the northern hemisphere. It occurs on the opposite day and date in the southern hemisphere. For example, in the northern hemisphere, the longest day is the solstice of summer, the 21st of June. The shortest day is the solstice of winter, the 21st of December. In the southern hemisphere, the shortest day of the year is June 21st, and the longest day of the year is December 21st. The image you see gives an example of how the sun affects its directness upon this earth. You can actually see at different places the extremes at our poles and the extreme at the center, and the temperate zones on either side. Truly, the facts are astronomical, because the Earth rotates on its axis daily and rotates around the sun annually, which determines the annual sun cycle of equinoxes and solstices. December 21st will also see a full day of night at the Arctic Circle and sees the longest day of the year on the southern hemisphere. And yes, that does mean the sun does not set on Antarctica on that day, just as on June 21st, the sun does not set in the Arctic. One of the most commonly asked questions is, how does this affect our weather? Now, being the shortest day of the year, the traditional growing season in the northern hemisphere will have ended. As the day lengthens and winter will effectively come to an end in a few months, the planet will also heat up. And as the planet heats up, the times will also grow in length. And that's when we move into spring and again summer. And after the spring equinox and the summer solstice, the days will start to get shorter again. This annual cycle has been part of the Earth for as long as scientists have been able to understand our planetary history. However, generally, local weather patterns are not often directly affected by such macro-celestial actions in the solar system. The only exception is that sometimes solar flares may cause changes in the overall atmosphere of the Earth. However, they are generally not long-term or have had major catastrophic concerns. What meaning does it have in human culture? For many people, the solstice time frame offers a reminder of times past in pre-scientific days when humans sought to understand the changes in the year and the changes in our world and attempted to understand it through their own forms of meaning. Many of the celebrations that we think of during this time date from before our scientific understanding of the universe around us. This is the time of the year in which these traditional societies had seen the shortening days and engaged in solstice-based cultural celebrations, calling back the sun and its lengthening days as the harvest season ended and the season of dormancy began. For example, the Yule in Northern and Western European cultures, Koleada and Korochun in Eastern European and Central Asian cultures. In Christian traditions, it is generally known as St. Lucia's Day, the Day of Light. Soyal in Hopi and Shalako in Zuni cultures represent the importance of this day for the agricultural peoples of the American Southwest. Furthermore, what meaning does it have in other human cultures? Many agricultural societies in the Northern Hemisphere have solstice-based cultural celebrations marking the solar calendar change from shortening days to extending days. And even in our contemporary, technologically based world, these celebrations still have meaning for millions of people worldwide. The harvest celebration of Yalda in Persian culture, the harvest celebration of Pongal in South Asian and the Indian Ocean regions, Tekufot in Hebrew or Jewish culture, which also coincides with the celebration of Hanukkah, as well as Bongji in East and Southeast Asian culture as well. On behalf of the Riverside County Library System and the County of Riverside, we thank you for your time today. We hope you have learned something from this presentation. Please feel free to log on to our website at rivlib.net and look for your materials on this topic. We have plenty of them for you to see. Log on today and request your copies. Have a wonderful day.